Hey y'all, it's me, Canva Junkie, and let's talk about digital planners. On my TikTok, that's all I hear about. How do I make a digital planner that I can sell or just use for myself, and that's hyperlinked? Well, let's get right into it. I'm going to show you how on Canva, and we're going to use Adobe at the end because sometimes, most of the times, 99.9% of the time, Canva is gonna cut you off after a certain amount of pages because you've used too many elements, but do not panic in that. I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. That's what Adobe's for. And yeah, so let's get into it. So first and foremost, you're gonna want to figure out if you want it portrait or landscape. Either way, I do normal paper size 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 8.5, whichever you're gonna do. In this one, let's do, I'm gonna do it in landscape, but I'm not gonna make it double paged. I'm just going to make it one single page, okay? So here we go. You would type in, pixels. Don't forget to change the inches because pixels are completely different. So first, I am gonna change the color of this. I like this like cement looking color. I just think it pops a little better. So to add a text box, you can obviously just add one here in text, or you can just press T on your keyboard and one will pop right back, will pop up. I usually say that you should choose about 2 to 3 fonts and stick with them throughout the whole entire planner. And just play around with it. Like, I normally say like have an idea of what you want it to look like before you start. Right now, I kind of don't, I'm just playing with it. So to make the calendar, a lot of people struggle with this too. You can either use lines that are gonna be here in the lines and shape element, and I would probably make the line weight a little thinner, but you could use lines like this, and just and to evenly space these to make all the days of the week, you would select all of the vertical lines and go up to position and tidy up tool. I do believe that this is a Canva Pro feature, but I'm not sure. So now I have a calendar. You could do it that way, or to avoid using a ton of elements, because each one of these lines is a different element. And as I said before, Canva will cut you off at a certain page. They have a 200 page limit, but getting to 200 is hard. You can't use too many elements. And if each one of these are one element, you're gonna be using up a lot of your space very quickly. So if you want, you can do it that way. Or you could go into elements and type in calendar and go to graphics, and you can find one here. This one is a Canva Pro one. If you see the Pro feature here, the little crown, then you know it's a Pro element. So this one is a Pro one. It's my favorite because the lines aren't too thick and it doesn't have too much. It's more like a plain grid that I could just jazz up itself. But there is a free one that is just as good. So like this one here is a free one. And if you didn't want the blue, you could just change it to the same color as the background and it'll be a plain grid as well. And then it already has where you can put in the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all that. So those are your two options. There's a free one and the pro one, and I'm sure there's more, but those are the two that I use the most. I never even go further down. So if you're going to be selling this, then I would suggest that you do undated and don't put any numbers in the box or the year, anything like that, because then you could just sell it for a lifetime. You don't have to go in and update for each year and all of that. And most people, that's what most people are buying if you look on the analytics. There's no easy way to doing this. There's no shortcut. It is very time consuming. So don't think that you're gonna make a planner in 20 minutes and it'll be done. That is not the case. It's gonna take hours, sometimes days. Okay, so now we have the calendar ready, undated, so we're not gonna put any numbers in here. I like to use these dots, and it is free. It's not a pro feature, but these dots for notes. So now we have notes over here. And let's say I'm done. Let's say that this is my monthly calendar. Now all I'm gonna do is duplicate. So now, and as I go, you want to name the pages as well as rename the month. And we're doing this, well, obviously it's easier, so you don't have to keep making that page over and over, but also the labels help for when you're ready to hyperlink. Okay, so now we have all of the months done, and now I'll go in and add my monthly tabs. So for that, you just go over to Elements again, go to Lines and Shapes, and choose whichever shape you want for your tabs. I think I'm gonna choose this one for now. I'm gonna make my tabs at the top. And I'll need 12 of them. So they're too big, obviously. There's 8 of them, and I'm not gonna get to 12, so I'll try to resize them. Yep, sometimes that happens, so I'll have to delete these, resize the first one, and continue duplicating from there. A trick is if you duplicate one, the first one, and put it into place, it will duplicate in that same spot from here on out. So now I don't have to go back in and respace them because it'll space it exactly how I spaced the first two. 11, 12, and we are going to, just for the sake of the video, nope, that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna have to do it. Make it a little bit smaller. So that 12 can fit. You know what? I'm just gonna go with this tab because that looks too skinny for lettering. I don't really care for the black, so let's change to like, let's just keep it neutral colors. Now I'm gonna duplicate it, lock it into place, and then keep going. Okay, now we have 12. They're a little short, but that's fine. So I'm gonna go in and change the colors into a color scheme or pattern that I like. And then I'm gonna select all of them, go to position and make sure I can't choose tidy up, so that means they are evenly spaced. So I don't like for them to look like little circles. I like for them to look like they're kind of popping out from behind the page. And how I make that happen is I just go over to shapes, grab a square, change it to the color of the background, and then place it about halfway from the circles, and then you can just move this to the back. Oh. So now it looks like it's kind of just popping out behind the page. So make another text box. Okay, once you have all your tabs finished, you want to link the tab and the month together. So you select the text and the tab, and you go to these three little dots and go to group. It's gonna pop out in front, don't worry, just right click and send back. Now that they're grouped, you'll go back to these three dots and click on link. So this is why it's important to title your pages. For instance, I didn't title January. I know that it's January because it's first and it's the only one untitled, so I'll go ahead and link it to that page. But now you see why I said to go ahead and title your pages, so that when you're hyperlinking your pages to the tabs, it's easy to find. So again, you're gonna group it, right click, send it back to the back, and then back up here, link to February. And then you're done. We're gonna do the same thing for every single month. Okay, so now all of the links are hyperlinked for the month, and we can start working on, let's say, like a weekly page. So what I did, I just duplicated February, and now I'm going to go January week 1. Don't forget, it's important to title your pages or you're gonna be lost when it's time to hyperlink. So we can always keep it exactly how it is this Sunday through Saturday, and go ahead and just make, like, you can split it up into boxes. Remember, we're not dating it, so your client will end up dating it on their own, or you can provide digital stickers that include numbers to be able to put on each month. That's also an option. Here, I'm gonna do a border, but I'm going to take the color out so that it's just a box. And that makes it easier and not a bunch of lines where I'll be using too many elements. So then we will copy it. I think I want to spread them out some. So that is the tidy up tool that I just used to evenly space it. I just used the keyboard letters to do it, but that was another way. So I got them all selected. I want them evenly spaced from here. So now I'll go up to those 3 letters, position, and tidy up, and it evenly spaces it automatically for me. All you really need is the first one and the last one. So this first one and this last one in position, and then it'll evenly space from there. So now I'm just gonna look for graphics that express my nutrition goals. So this will be water intake. And you can change the color of some of the elements. Those are usually ones I try to go for. Okay, and so if you wanted to add tabs to this one, you can either do like an index tab that just takes you back to the month. So like, let's say I go to calendar and the graphics. This one's free, so let's use this one. I could put this little guy in the corner, and if you click it, it just takes you back to that month's calendar. Or I could do tabs here on this side for the January week 2, whatever, plus the index. It really depends on what you want and how you like it. So I'm gonna use this to go back to January. And let's go ahead and copy all of these. And they're already hyperlinked, so they'll stay hyperlinked on the pages that you put them on. So now these pages have all their elements, and I'm not worried about running out of elements before all of my pages have their tabs and hyperlinks. Okay, so I linked this to January. Now, if you wanted to add another little like note section, you could just move this over and do something over here, whether it's more lines. So now you have a note section on this weekly page. I would just, because I moved things over, I would probably just delete these and do it over. It's really easy. So let's go. Let's delete all of these that we just did. And duplicate again. So now we have all the weeks done. And a quick way to just repeat that is to go here, and it's down here. You just go to grid view and select all those weeks, January week through 6, and I'm just holding down shift as I click week 1 and week 6, and it'll highlight all of those. And then you go up here to duplicate the 6 pages, and now it's done that. Now I'm going to move this February month in front of those. I will go to the duplicated January week 1 and change it to February. And then you just go in and change from there. And then you would just keep going in and doing that for the rest of the months. Again, like I said, this is very time consuming. Making a planner is not a quick and easy thing. It does take time, patience, but to me, I think they could be worth it in the end because it's a $10 to $20 product that you can sell for a lifetime. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a text box, put week 1 in it. So now I'll just link this to January week 1. January week 2, and so forth. Some way, somehow, we were able to fit all the months, all the weeks into this one PDF. So you could go ahead and download this and just upload it as a monthly, weekly planner, undated, so it could be used for any year from here forward. Or you could go in and make daily pages and hyperlink those in as well. Either way, you would just download this as a standard PDF, go to share, download, PDF standard. I'm gonna rename this, let's go neutral. And then you would just go download, PDF standard, all pages, go ahead and download it. And then let's go ahead and test out those hyperlinks. We have January, February, March. Okay, so there's a few mistakes in here. Always review. Go to Adobe, download it, go to Adobe and review. One is that February isn't linked. And 2, June has an underline under it, which I do not like. So let's see if these weeks work. Week 1 works. This is taking me back to June. It does. Go to January week 2. So you would really go through all of these, just making sure that all your hyperlinks work. Get a notepad so that you can write down what doesn't, and then you'll go back in and re-link those. So far so good outside of the February tab, and that is in all of the pages. So is the June underline, which I didn't catch in Canva. So you always want to download it and go test everything out. That's even more time, but I'm telling you, it's worth it because you're spending these hours to be able to sell a product for a lifetime. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned about making digital planners. I can't wait to see the ones you guys make on your own. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Go follow me on TikTok at Canva Junkie. And yeah, see you soon.